All right. Oh my gosh. It has been a crazy, eventful couple days, and it's only Tuesday. It's crazy. First comment, what's going on? Welcome, 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 welcome. I appreciate y'all for hopping over from TikTok to YouTube because a lot of some people be a little bit lazy and they only want, the TikTok stuff. So I appreciate y'all for jumping over different platforms and stuff. TikTok just been a little weird. Um, they've been a little weird for a couple weeks. So YouTube has been good to me. I can kind of say what I want to say. And, is what it is over here. TikTok, you probably kind of reach a little bit more people, but it's all good because it don't matter. I usually get banned or suspended within the first 15 minutes of being live anyway. And then the sound is a little bit better over here too. So I don't know. I kind of like YouTube all around now, but trying to balance them out. That's really why I've been MIA on the lives on TikTok. I've been committing a little bit more time to YouTube videos, which have been going great. So I definitely can't complain about that at all. Yes, welcome in, welcome in. I definitely appreciate y'all hopping over. Here from TikTok, definitely. I appreciate it. Keep up the great research. Go Max. I appreciate it. Love your content. I definitely appreciate y'all. I really do. Tonight's episode was like being able to come to YouTube to watch it. I didn't even think about that. That's actually a great point. I didn't think about that at all. I'm glad YouTube does that. Tonight's episode was great. I'll be honest. I probably was like expecting the ultimate banger with Miss Shirley and maybe having even more damning evidence when it comes to her being at that weird airport, or not the airport being weird, but that weird building, which was still explosive. So I'm not taking that away. But I definitely was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be like, you can't even deny it. But you know how they are. Unless you truly catch them red-handed, they're going to deny it to the end. I don't know why they're like that. I don't know why Turning Point is like that. I don't know why Miss Shalami is like that. Very weird individuals, but you have to truly, at this point, I think we've all learned our lesson that if we don't have like pictures of them, something like that, they just gonna deny it. They just gonna deny it. It's weird. But it definitely was a crazy thing. Also, hopefully y'all been watching Baron, because Baron, he actually introduced the playing theory last month. And I could probably pull it up real quick just for anybody that hasn't seen Baron's playing theory, because he brought it up last month and it was actually very explosive and a very great theory on where he thinks everybody was the day that Charlie, the Big Bang happened. And that's what Candace brought up last night. Candace brought up last night about Andrew Covett lying about what plane he was on, which is crazy. And the fact that nobody will address that part is just, I don't know, bro. I'm telling y'all, every single day, I just sit back sometimes and I think like, bro, is this real? Is this really happening right now? Do we live in the same world? Why are these people so robotic? Right? Why are these people, they just don't have human responses to things? And it goes beyond even the accusations going on right now and their response to what they're being accused of and all that stuff. I'm even talking about the day of the Big Bang. Why was that day so weird? Like, why did, the bang happen and Mikey McCoy walked away in less than a second? How is that normal? I'm just imagining, I don't know about y'all. I ain't never been in a shootout before. Never. But I can only imagine if I heard a gunshot, I would probably duck, run, try to hide. I would just think that would be my reaction. When you look at the crowd, that's how all of them reacted. The couple 100,000, however many people was there. All of those people ducked, ran, were shocked. Mikey McCoy walks away in less than a second. How? And to add even more to it, it's Charlie Kirk, his supposed to be great friend, his boss. How do you see that and just walk away calmly? And then when we call them out for stuff like this, they gaslight us and say that's normal. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't respond that way if I heard gunshots. I don't know. His security team, same thing. Gunshots go off, but nobody was looking around, checking the perimeter, seeing if another shot was on the way. It seemed like they knew it was only going to be one big bang. It's crazy. Bear with me. I am getting used to the comments on YouTube and being able to I haven't really figured out how to read everybody's comments in the mix of talking about everything. So please bear with me. I feel like I need to do it while talking because last time I tried to do it and waited to the end, it was kind of confusing. So just bear with me as I'm doing this. Did anyone see what EK posted on Instagram after Candace Owens' show? I was crying in anger. Let me check it out.
What do you want to say today? Well,
I'll pull it up for everybody. Let's watch it together, shall we? Let's see what Miss Shalami posted on Instagram. All right. Here we go.
What do you want to say today?
Well, we are going to be reading them the Bible today. Do you want to say anything about Jesus?
I love Jesus. I love Jesus. In the world, oh, I love Jesus. In the world, I love Jesus. Jesus.
Amen.
Hey, I'm Kiki Cook. What do you want to say today?
Well, we are going to be reading them the Bible today. Do you want to say anything about Jesus?
I love Jesus. I love Jesus. In the world, oh, I love Jesus. In the world, I love Jesus. Jesus.
Amen.
Hey,
That was weird. Not necessarily the kids singing. You know what I mean? Innocent, I guess. It's just Erica not reading the room for me. That's really all it is. She just ignores everything, and people just turn it around and make it seem like it's because she's so holy. She doesn't have time to respond to anybody because that's just not godly. It pushes her away from heaven when she responds to people. No. Please stop all that. It's weird when you have child accusations around you, like child crime around you, and you don't address any of it. And then your excuse for not addressing it is that it pushes you away from heaven if you respond. Miss me with all that. That's oh my gosh. I don't know. The way they are freaking out over Kent says it all. We are back to being demons, roasting in. Man, I'm telling you. I don't know what it is. Is there a way I can make this a little bit smaller, these comments? 1 second. Let me see. No, that's how they are. Dang, I feel like that's kind of big. Okay, whatever. We'll keep it like that. It's deflection. They're deflecting from the actual problem. Let's just say Joe Kent actually was the leaker, even though he didn't even admit it. How are you more mad at the whistleblower than the people who were actually hiding the truth? It's very, I don't really know if we live in different worlds. I don't know what's going on with these people, but it's weird behavior. And then on top of that, Joe Kent said so many times, my fault, not Joe Kent. Andrew Covett said out of his own mouth that he did not know. He doesn't know who actually leaked it. He said that. I don't know why his own people and all these talking heads, all of these talking heads around Turning Point are putting words in his mouth. But Andrew Covett even said, I can't confirm if Joe Kent leaked it. All I'm saying is I sent it to him. He asked me to go public with it. I declined it, and it went public. I can't confirm that Joe Kent did it. He said that about 3 or 4 times. But yet, they ran with that. And they're saying Joe Kent was the leaker. Now, this doesn't dismiss Andrew Covett. He knew what he was doing by doing that. He was essentially implying that Joe Kent was the leak. So he's not innocent. But I'm just curious and concerned on why he knows he didn't say that. He knows he truly didn't say, I can 100% confirm Joe Kent did that. But yeah, he's allowing everybody around him to say that. It's crazy. Haven't missed a Baron episode in 6 months. Continue to not miss it because Baron be on it. I'm telling you. It's a little hard to recap Baron's episode sometimes because there's so much information in one episode. But I might need to start committing to that and just trying to at least shed some light to Baron. I try to give him his props every chance I get. But yeah, do not miss a Baron episode because, again, the plain theory, not theory, I guess you could say theory because we can't truly prove it yet. But Andrew Covett lying about his flights, Baron revealed that last month. So stay on top of Baron and Candace. It's insane to have to hold so many grown adults accountable because all they can do is lie. You were 100% right. You are 100% right. It is bothering me how big these comments are. Oh my gosh, bro. Why can they not be smaller? My Lord. I don't know. Maybe it's because of this. I mean, yeah, okay, cool. I'll do it like this since I'm reading them anyway. She's using her kids to gain sympathy today. She tends to do that all the time. She tends to do that when this lights get too bright on Erica Kirk and she gets in the hot seat. Oh, you best believe a post about her mother or a post about her kids are coming very soon. Emotional manipulation, ladies and gentlemen. I was really hoping that Mitch gave Candace Owens a picture of EK in that hotel. Oh my God, wouldn't that just be the icing on the cake? It would. And, y'all know I talked to Mitch, through the DMs for a lot. We talked about a lot. And one thing that I will say, Mitch should have known that if he was going to throw out there that Joe Kent vetted him, he should have came with a receipt to prove that it was worth it. I don't like, and Mitch, you may be watching because you do be watching my content. You've admitted that, and I do appreciate it. But he knows what comes with throwing things out there with no receipt behind it. So I think with him going on that podcast saying Joe Kent vetted him, he should have known a dog pile was going to come on Joe Kent. It already was happening, and it didn't help with him doing that. Now, I'm on the right side. Y'all know me. I don't think Candace committed a crime, right? If her and Joe Kent was good friends, it doesn't hurt by saying, hey, Joe, vet this guy for me real quick just so I can make sure he is who he say he is, or I can confirm that he's not lying about who he is. And Joe Kent says, cool, boom, boom, got you, all good. He's good to go. That's no crime. But Mitch knows, bro. He knows what comes with being attached to Candace Owens. So him just throwing it out there that Joe Kent vetted him, I don't know why he would do that. If you're going to do that, bro, you got to drop a picture. You got to redirect. Make sure the focus stays on point, stays on task. You can say Joe Kent vetted me. Cool. But here's a picture of EK in the lobby. They can't focus on the other thing anymore. So I don't know. I didn't like the way he handled that interview because that really did not help at all. She posted videos of her kids talking about how they remind her of Charlie. It's upsetting because he should be here with his kids. It really is upsetting. And let's not forget, she also said before, I think a couple of times, that, if Charlie Kirk could come back, he wouldn't. I don't even want to get into that because, from a father's perspective, like, bro, don't, man. Everyone liked the live. Yes, please. YouTube live. I'm trying to get it going. I think we've only done like 2 or 3 of these, but I do enjoy this way more than TikTok. I don't really have to worry about getting banned and all that other stuff. Let's see. In the messages where they are telling their family of employees at Turning Point USA, Charlie's Justin Strife says he is always inclined to tell these people to F off. Hope TPUSA employees see that. Dang, I did not know that. I'm not surprised though. I think the person that said it was Erica in the video, and it wasn't was supposed to be a psyop, like purposefully saying the wrong thing to discredit everything everyone says. Which video? You might have to help me remember what I was talking about. Sorry about that. Yeah, free Gigi, man. Free Gigi. Tyler Robinson will plead guilty. The defense not caring about any of the evidence reminds me of Brian Koberger. Do you know anything about that case? It's worth looking at for reference. I don't know anything about that case. I will look at it some more. However, I will agree with you and say that I think Tyler Robinson, my two guesses, he's not going to make it to trial, or he's going to plead guilty because he doesn't even know how innocent he really is. Innocent as in, from pulling the trigger. He's still guilty for participating in whatever this whole thing is, this whole game plan, this whole military operation. But he's going to plead guilty because that's probably part of his plan too. I don't think his plan is to walk free. So he's going to not make it a trial, or he's going to take the plea. And everybody's going to be like, why would you take the plea? That makes no sense. You have all of these mountains of evidence to prove your innocence. And, his ultimate job is to try to erase that evidence as quick as possible. So I don't think Tyler Robinson wants to be free. So I think he's going to take a plea. And once that plea is took, it's over with. Case closed. She actually said Jesus just like a good robot. We have been saying that she never says names. Yeah, she definitely has started to come around saying it a little bit more than usual. I also think though that, she's been hearing what we've been saying. So, because she went a while without saying it. So I don't think that it's a coincidence that now all of a sudden she's privy to saying it again. Charlie's little boy, yeah. Now she using the babies. It was cringe. I'm sorry. It was cringe. I can't control it. That, and again, kids are innocent. So I'm not even saying the child's voice. None of that. For me, it's all about just reading the room. Reading the room. Like, bro, you got some crazy allegations around your name right now. Don't post it. Don't try to emotionally manipulate me by posting your kid and you want me to feel bad for you. No, you're guilty. Allegedly. You're guilty. And I seen somebody said it the other day. They was like, man, she has kids. Why are y'all trying to, take her away from her kids and all that stuff? I don't care. If she's guilty, lock her up. Kids will be okay, knowing that they're in the hands of somebody that is a functioning, civilian and not into criminal activity. Allegedly. She tries way too hard. She does. She's trying to pretend like she's a good mom now. Bro, y'all be on her. It's just all so convenient. Yeah. I think Candace is going to share Erica Pickett at Fort Huachuca. I hope so. I am waiting on it. Like when the pictures start to be released, that's how you catch, pathological liars. Gaslighters are a little challenging. Narcissistic people are a little challenging. Because with a narcissist, with a gaslighter, you can show them a picture. You can show a picture of Erica in the hotel lobby at Fort Huachuca. And the gaslighting talking heads that are getting paid by Turning Point to defend Erica, they're going to come out and say, man, you, that's an invasion of privacy. How could you sneak that picture of Erica Kirk in the hotel lobby? How dare you? That's gaslighting. Because why are we not talking about the actual problem here? Erica Kirk being in the hotel lobby at Fort Huachuca. But I guarantee you, if that does happen, a picture drops, we'll be satisfied. To me, that should prove everything that she is guilty. But for somehow it's gonna come around and backfire, not backfire, but it's somehow gonna come around and say we're invading her privacy by Mitch Snow taking the pictures of Eric. Poor Nick Shirley caught strays today. I did not see that coming. I'll be honest. I kind of like Nick Shirley. Now I've always wondered who he was kind of powered by, because obviously he's Republican Party and stuff like that, conservative movement. But I've always wondered, you know, I know he makes good money from being a content creator and independent journaling and investigating. But I've always wanted to know, like, you know, he always goes to the blue cities. So it just makes me wonder the motive. I know that their talking point is the blue cities are self-destructing and Nick Shirley's going there to expose fraud and expose this and that. But yeah, I've wondered, you know what I mean? Like, are you ever gonna go to a red city? If not, then that tells me that somebody out there is powering you to go here. Somebody's telling you to go there to expose the blue. And it's a red blue, you know, conversation all over again, when we need to get past the red and blue, you know, conflict. It's not red and blue, bro. Left wing, right wing, same bird. Both sides are evil. Both sides are frauds. Let's move on from that. Soft launch for monetizing that child. Oh, Joe Kent's going to be on Sean Ryan soon too. Can't wait for that one. Maybe we'll get some answers. I think that interview dropped too, by the way, if I'm not mistaken. I seen a snippet of it, but I think it dropped tonight, like an hour or so ago. Welcome. Mark my words, soft launch to make money off the kid. She's a show. At this point, we are going in circles. After 6 months, TPUSA still standing. FBI surely asleep on this one. Yeah, I mean, I felt like this today. I'll be honest. I felt like that a couple of days. I was like, man, it just feels like we're getting nowhere. And at this point, it seems like they're defending everything. And the problem is that they aren't addressing what actually matters, and it pisses me off, because those are the things that are relevant, and they aren't addressing that. They never say anything about Andrew Covett lying about his flights. They never say anything about Erica Kirk being so close to Jeffrey Epstein. Maybe a coincidence? I don't know. I don't have anybody in my family that's that close to Jeffrey Epstein. I couldn't tell you one person. It ain't got to be family. I couldn't tell you one person that happened to be in the same city as Jeffrey Epstein multiple times. But she won't ever come out and say anything about it. She just thinks she's too holy to do that. What about Erica Kirk talking to the 15-year-old girl? That's a fact, by the way. That's no alleged anything. We know you was talking to a 15-year-old girl, and we seen what you said to her. And we know not only did you say crazy things to this girl, you went behind her mama's back and set up a photo shoot. I need answers. But for some reason, she's too holy to answer. But let some random accusation get thrown out there that Erica Kirk had on sparkly socks. She's going to come out and say something. Andrew Covett is going to come out and say something. Blake Neff is going to come out and say something. But they don't ever talk about the things that are actually important. Like they didn't, this whole time, they have never addressed the fact that Joe Kent's investigation was blocked. They never talk about that. But they just talk about the leaked text message, the leaked screenshot. What about the fact that Joe Kent's investigation was blocked? Does that concern Erica Kirk? Does that concern you? Turning Point USA, does that concern you? Does that piss you off? Do you wonder why? All of them should have been like, we demand an investigation right now. Relaunch whatever y'all was investigating right now. None of them are doing that. Instead, they're focusing on Joe Kent leaking the screenshot. It's weird. And it makes you just wonder, like, I've said it from not day one, but like a couple of weeks down the road when we started getting really, thick into it. I was like, bro, I don't see a happy ending out of all of this. I don't think justice will be served. I think we'll know the truth. But I think that's as far as it'll go. We'll never know who ordered the hit. The same people who ordered the hit are just as powerful as the people that are on the Epstein files. We'll never know. Hopefully, but not likely, because they're so powerful. Powerful, I want to say. So we'll never really know who ordered the hit. How? I think we'll find out how. Why? We'll never truly know. And the closer we get to who, bodies will start falling. And I'm not throwing out there that people are going to start dying. That might be worst case scenario. But they will at least be throwing people under the bus before we get to who actually ordered the hit. They'll throw a lot of people under the bus. That's why I'm okay with focusing on the small players. Let's get them. Make them crack. Let's get Erica, because she can be touched one day. The closer we get to the big players, they will let Erica fall. Same as Andrew Kovac. They'll let them fall. And once they do, that's when they'll crack, because they're not built like that. They're not cut like that. Once they fall, they're not finna go to jail and just not talk. If that gets to that point. But that's why I said we do need to keep going after these small players to see if they can crack, to get them to crack. You talking about Barron's crash out? Absolutely. All about the money, yes. I'm not sure we will see justice for Charlie. Those kids would be indoctrinated. We can just hope one day they look into all this evidence and see it for what it is. You couldn't have said it any better. I 1000% agree with you. Hopefully the kids can grow up one day and just see the truth. That's it. That's all I care about. As long as, it's going to be tough. Daddy's not there. But just at least expose the truth so they can know what happened to their dad. Because imagine growing up in this life and your mama has something to do with your daddy not being there, and you have no idea, and you have to maybe find out the hard way. Like, imagine when these kids are 15 years old, and let's say this conspiracy is still going. And when these kids are 15, they start doing their own research, and then they start thinking like us. Dude, that relationship between her or these kids and Erica are done. If they decided to do their own research and they said, hold on, mama, you looking real shady. Because the internet is undefeated. It's going to be here forever. So hopefully the truth can be revealed in that way. They can at least have that. Pretty sure Candace is about to drop the famous pic. I hope so. Brandon has been hinting at a pic. Barron has, I think I said Brandon. Barron has been hinting at a pic, so I hope so. I really do. Joe vetted Mitch for Candace. That is what Mitch said. Mitch told some podcaster that Joe Kent vetted him. Yeah. I mean, that's what concerns me with Andrew COVID when they go on their podcast and they say, man, we have this mounds of evidence that proves Tyler Kirk is crazy. Tyler Robinson is guilty. And it's like, how would Andrew COVID know that? You're not even part of the case, my boy. Sure, Erica Kirk may know that information. And Erica Kirk probably is telling Andrew COVID behind closed doors. But he be speaking on it like he's directly involved in the case. Candace needs to look into the case of Dan Markle, Addison family. Meghan Markle and Amber Heard. Hopefully, you know what I mean? She probably will. When content resumes normalcy, maybe so. But it's been a crazy 6 months. Because this has been something that has been ongoing and we're all still invested in it. And obviously we just want the truth. And it's going to be a weird feeling. I'm going to just, be optimistic about it and say once we do get the truth, it's going to be a weird feeling trying to resume normalcy of like regular. I wouldn't say weird. Yeah, I wouldn't say weird because, when you make content, you make content. You're going to find a way. But it is going to be different when all of this is over, hopefully in our favor. But it also may go, even if we do get justice, it still will be crazy seeing, maybe Erica might fall one day. Maybe Andrew COVID might fall one day. That would be crazy. Yeah. All of this is so upsetting. It is. I do agree. The kids might not be Charlie's. I saw that theory. Maybe, I don't know. Y'all know me. I don't ever really get too deep into things that if I can't really pull it up for myself or back it up with something, I don't like to invest too much into stuff like that. She did lie though in that picture she took to try to set her alibi up with that boy in the picture, because that boy was not her boy, but she claimed it was. That was very interesting. She was talking about TPUSA making a digital twin of Charlie to push whatever agenda they want, basically pretending Charlie said it. That's crazy. That's psychotic. And you can 100% tell that this organization is not the same because they pretty much agree with whatever Trump does. They agree with whatever the administration does. That's nothing Charlie did. Charlie could back you and support you, but Charlie will voice his personal opinion on how he feels on every situation. And how you know that turning point, or how you should know that turning point is not the same, is because as soon as this war with Iran started, Andrew COVID, Blake Neff, all these people came out trying to use Charlie as a shield, saying Charlie would be happy about this war. Crazy people. But either way, Charlie would have came out and said something about the war. Erica Kirk has no comments about the war. Nothing. That is totally different than what Charlie ever did. Now Erica just falls in line with whatever the administration wants. Does Candace know about the phone call you aired with allegedly Erica talking to that girl? Yeah, Candace addressed that a couple of episodes ago. And I want to be clear. I said in the video that it does sound like Erica, but I wasn't 100% convinced. I was like 60, 40, 70, 30, I believe I said. And this came from another content creator that brought it to my attention. And I listened to it a couple of times and I was like, it does sound like her. So that's why I didn't mind bringing it to everybody's attention on my platform. So I was like, shoot, it does sound like her. It's worth a shot. But it ended up not being her. It ended up being, I forgot what that girl's name is. But it ended up being somebody else that, you know, similar role to Erica, different person. Come on, y'all, like to love more people. Yeah, definitely hit the like button for sure. I don't even know what it is. I'm in a whole nother platform that's powering my YouTube. So I gotta go check real quick. Yeah, 26 likes. Come on, man. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. It's cool though. I appreciate all 26 people that liked it. I definitely don't judge at all. I would appreciate it if it was more than 26, but it's okay. Regardless. They don't want anyone to ask questions. If you ask questions or want to investigate, they get mad. Yeah, it's deflecting, bro. It's the gaslighting. It's crazy. It just makes you feel like you're not a real person because the things that they get mad about, it's just like, why you get mad about that, but you don't actually get mad about the things that I would expect you to be pissed about. I don't know. It would be one thing if we had a competent FBI, but to take the assurance of a man like Kash Patel and a man who wrote children's book portraying Trump as a king and himself as a wizard. Yeah, this administration is going to go down in history as a phony administration, from the president to the people around him, like Kash Patel. Charlie's mentor just died from pickleball. Like, what did he know? Oh man, I play pickleball a lot. I don't know how this could happen. I know they said something about he fell, bumped his head, got a head injury. I don't know how he fell. Maybe he tripped over something. I don't know how you could die in pickleball. You don't really move that much, especially the older people. The younger folks, like my crowd, we really get down in pickleball. But the older folks, bro, they don't move that much. So I thought that was strange. I think they said only 5 people in the last like multiple years have died. So the odds, crazy. Very interesting though. Mitch mentioned to Teresa Better Life that there were pictures that he gave to Candace. Yeah, I mean, Mitch told me the same thing. He sent over pictures, videos. I'm ready for them to be released. But again, if Mitch is going to add fuel to the fire by saying Joe Kent vetted him, that's tough. That's really tough. I just can't stand when we give them ammo to deflect. That's the only thing I can't stand. because they look for little talking points that they can just talk about for all day. And it's like, it doesn't matter. So I try my best to just prevent that. And I don't really indulge in like I wouldn't say it's nonsense, but it's things that are just irrelevant. Like when the shopping spree, I didn't mind talking about it because everybody would, the video was going crazy. But I mean, I even said it in the video. I was like, I don't think anybody should really care about the shopping spree. She's done, yeah, sure. In theory, like the principle of why are you interested in, clothes, but you just got to always think about what they're going to say. And you can't really do too much about clothes. Sure, she went on a shopping spree. You can say if it was before the Big Bang or after. At the end of the day, they're going to come out and say, wow, y'all are watching her, buy clothes. The stores are sending receipts to podcasters. Like, they're just going to take it so far where it's like, bro, it's pointless. Let's not even talk about stuff like that. What is your perspective as to why they did this in front of the whole world? They could have taken our CK out in private. They could have taken CK out in private, but they chose to hurt us all in a twisted way. We just have to take it. I think they were trying to make a statement. And that's why it's kind of concerning why Trump isn't fighting hard for this situation, isn't fighting for true justice on what happened to Charlie. Because if there was foreign involvement, which in my opinion, I feel like there is, that means Trump gives more respect or authority to the foreign involvement than his own citizens. He cares about that more than his own citizens. And we're talking about Charlie Kirk here. This is somebody that he should have known that if he gets got in this type of way, the whole world is going to go crazy. But I just think that it was a statement. It was a statement that you better not get out of line. I think the way that they threatened Candace and the way that they threatened Tucker Carlson and the way that they were going to start threatening Charlie Kirk and all of these different people, I think this was a statement to them, to your Candaces, to your Tuckers, to your Nick Fuentes, of saying, don't mess with us or you will get got. So I don't know. I think it was sick that they had to do that in front of so many different people, but it was definitely a motive and for a reason. It could be a jab at us. It could be a slight shot at us saying, yeah, this happened to Charlie Kirk. Imagine 10 years from now when citizens don't have free speech anymore. They may not take it to the extreme of locking us up like some countries do. But maybe they get to a point where we don't have social media anymore. We don't have TikTok anymore. We can't talk about certain things on social media anymore. So that freedom of speech is not so free. Controlled. I don't know. It'll be hard to find a jury pool that isn't tainted. They will probably all be paid though, and none of this evidence will be presented. Yeah, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard for them to find a jury pool that's not tainted with so many different things out on the internet today. But If it's an open and shut case, if it's a home run or a slam dunk, whatever that terminology was, I think it was slam dunk. If this is a slam dunk case, shouldn't matter. Shouldn't matter at all. They should be able to get a jury. Joe Kent should be able to testify. It shouldn't matter. How do you hit the heart? What you mean? You got to hit the thumbs up. It's YouTube. But I do appreciate it. And while we on Joe Kent, now Turning Point USA and all of its people's talking points, talking heads, now they're going after Joe Kent again, even more, because he said that he is willing to testify. And I want to play this clip of Andrew Covett and Blake Neff talking about it real quick, just for anybody that hasn't seen it. This started to go completely viral again. And I just want y'all to listen to Andrew Covett and Joe, or what's this guy's name? And Blake Neff. I want y'all to listen to how they feel about Joe Kent possibly testifying or willing to testify. Again, he never said he is going to. He said he's willing to if they ask him to. And listen to how they respond or react, I'm sorry, to something that's not even set in stone.
And we will get into that in just a second. So moments ago, a new report from journalist Michael Schellenberger dropped. As you know, yesterday we covered the backstory, but what really happened with the screen grabs, the notorious screen grabs now, and
you like how they how Joe Kent said they found the rifle and not they found the murder weapon. He's telling us information on the slide. I agree. I peeped that as well. Definitely. I think also trauma bond, like how people are bonding after 9/11. Yeah, definitely. I agree. I don't know. I mean, there's definitely an attempted psyop for sure.
And I revealed to this audience that I did, in fact, share that screen grab with Joe Kent. And Joe suggested that I leak that publicly. I declined. I went back through our messages and he suggested I do so twice. I declined. Obviously, those were private messages. I wanted to keep them private for Charlie's sake. I thought that was honoring my friend. Anyway.
I don't understand. I don't want to hit on this part for too long because I hit on it earlier already. He keeps on saying he wanted to do it for Charlie. He wanted to do it for Charlie. Keep it private. Bro, Charlie is dead, bro. What is you talking about? Charlie's dead. He ain't in heaven thanking you for keeping text messages private. He said that earlier. He said that BS earlier. I think yesterday. He was like, I kept the text messages private because, you know, to honor my friend Charlie. He didn't say any of these things public. So I felt like it wasn't my place to you know, put it out there. He's dead, Andrew. How was he gonna say it publicly? That screenshot of him saying that y'all left me no choice but to abandon the pro-Israel cause, that was 1 or 2 days before he died. So explain to me, when was he going to come out and publicly say that he was changing his relationship perspective on Israel or his views on Israel? He was changing that. When was he going to come out and say that? Like Andrew, bro, he is a snake, bro.
So this new report comes out from Schellenberger, and it says, as you see on your screen, that Joe Kent says he's willing to testify at the trial of Tyler Robinson. So this is obviously a huge bombshell and escalates everything to a much bigger level. I have reached out to Michael Schellenberger, and he has agreed to come on the show today. He interviewed Joe Kent for this report. So these are Joe Kent's own words. Michael Schellenberger will be joining us at 1:30 Eastern. So set your clocks and please tune in then. It's going to be an important conversation. And Blake, let's just take this out a step and explain why this is actually a really important thing. As you know, there's a lot of conspiracy theories that we do not indulge, that we do not discuss. This is different. Joe Kent was a government official at a very important post, and now he's saying he's willing to testify ostensibly on behalf of Tyler Robinson.
Yes.
This is a bigger deal. This is a line cross that we have not seen.
Yes. Let's just recite it where he says, Kent, this is Schellenberger's reporting on Substack. Kent said he knew he might be called as a witness before he made his statements that a, quote, foreign next.
Now tell me this. If the former director of counterterrorism is saying he is willing to testify on behalf of Tyler Robinson's defense, shouldn't that concern you from a Turning Point's perspective, Erica Kirk perspective of like, hold on now, if he would testify for Tyler Robinson, there must be something out there that we don't know. That should make them interested into knowing what Joe Kent knows. Instead, they're pissed. I would think Joe Kent knows way more than this bald head man right here about anything dealing with foreign involvement, anything dealing with military operation. The dude was 20 years in the military, former CIA, worked in intelligence, former director of counterterrorism. His word means a lot. So if somebody like him is saying, hey, I'm going to testify on the defense side, that should be very concerning in a good way. Like what does Joe Kent know? Not be pissed that it's happening. And then on top of that, Joe Kent hasn't even released anything that's explosive that we didn't already know. So if they ask Joe Kent on the stand, did the FBI block your investigation? And Joe Kent says yes. How would that hurt the entire trial? If that hurts the entire trial, that hurts the entire case. You never had a case. You're mad at Joe Kent for just telling the truth. Yeah, they blocked us from viewing the investigation or investigating to see if there was any foreign involvement. They blocked us from that. Do you know why? No, they just said that Tyler Robinson was their guy. Are you typically allowed to investigate into anything you want if you feel like there are foreign involvement leads that you need to trace down? Yeah. Usually I'm allowed to investigate anything I want if I feel like it's necessary, if I provide the proof that it's worth going down that rabbit hole or if it's worth tracking down. So why this time were you blocked from doing your job? I don't know. It's just what the FBI said. And if off of that, if that's able to get Tyler Robinson's case thrown out, you never had a case to begin with. Joe Kent isn't coming to the table defending Tyler Robinson, defending his character, saying, I never seen him take the shot. he wasn't there. Like, just coming to his defense, defending him in general. They act like Joe Kent is doing that. That's when I would say, maybe I can see the whole why you betraying Charlie Kirk. You chose a side. I can maybe get with that. I can maybe see that perspective. But Joe Kent going up there and just explaining, yeah, they blocked my investigation. That's the end of the world. It has everybody in a frenzy. Right. These people act like a group text, a group chat is classified information. Andrew is kind of telling on himself. He's saying Charlie could have made his opinions public because Andrew had been dealing with Charlie's changing opinion for a long time, long before that text. Absolutely. Absolutely. Think about the things we know right now. And that's only because of Candace Owens. Imagine what we don't know. What Charlie really told Andrew all the time. The only reason we know some of these lies, some of these, or maybe not lies, some of these truths that are being exposed, we only know it because of Candace Owens. Andrew Kovac has already admitted that he didn't even want those screenshots to be leaked. It was private. Why are you hiding the fact that Charlie Kirk was just changing his views on Israel? That's not that crazy. That's not that big of a deal. But to him it is, because Turning Point USA is ran by all Jewish donors. So that was going to change the ball game. He didn't want nobody to put two and two together, even though that's literally what ended up happening. He didn't want that. For some reason, he wanted to hide Charlie's true perspective. He wanted to hide that. For what? I don't know. Absolutely. Then Yahoo ordered it, Trump condoning, Erica was the handler. I don't disagree. You might be dead on, you might be spot on.
May be called as a witness before he made his statements that a, quote, foreign nexus may have been involved in Kirk's assassination. I was definitely warned of that over and over again, said Kent. If I end up having to play that role, then I'll do it. It's not something I'm seeking. When pressed that his testimony could help the Robinson defense, Kent said, then I'm seeking again, said Kent. If I end up having to play that role, then I'll do it. It's not something I'm seeking.
Did you just hear out of Joe Kent's mouth, right? Blake Neff is quoting Joe Kent. If I ever have to play that role, I'll do it, but it's not something I'm seeking. So again, he's not saying, hey, I'm going to come out and defend Tyler Robinson because I think he's a great person and he would never get himself in a situation like this. All Joe Kent is saying is like, yeah, I made it public. Everyone knows that I confirmed that FBI blocked me from doing my job. So I might get summoned into court to testify if that was true or not. And if I do, I have to say yes. I'm not seeking to go there and defend Tyler Robinson from pulling the trigger, whatever the situation is. But if I am called to testify, I'm willing to do it. That's not a crazy statement to make or say. But of course, Turning Point USA, of course, Blake Neff, of course, Andrew Kovac makes it about them, makes it about this invisible Charlie in the room. And they make it seem like Joe Kent, the 20-year veteran, is betraying them because he has to go to court and tell the truth about what happened. It's insane. Lives match the viewers at the moment. Keep going. Love you on TikTok and help you get big on YouTube. I definitely appreciate it. I really do. I'm glad that the lives match. I always appreciate the support. It is definitely a blast. Just having this community to talk to about this situation, because I feel like we all are in the same boat when it comes to not having that many people to talk to about this. So I definitely appreciate it. Blake Neff has so quickly become one of the most dislikable characters in all of this. Absolutely, bro. I definitely agree. He wanted to hide it because he didn't want Charlie to be united with others who shared his newfound opinion. They wanted Charlie isolated from allies and insulated by insulated by enemies. Absolutely. You said it perfectly. Perfectly. Because the second Charlie, if he was alive, and he said that, they know Charlie would have went right back to Candace. He would have been right back to Tucker Carlson. And that was the last trio they needed, was Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, and Charlie Kirk together. Because then that shatters their entire movement. Because eventually you got to start looking at yourself once three of your biggest voices switch up. Not necessarily switch up. They just open their eyes and realize they was getting played and manipulated the whole time. They couldn't have Charlie do it. Not Charlie. Not the, founder of Turning Point USA. No. Who even watches their podcast? Maybe only people looking to see what stupidity they say each time. Yeah, the Charlie Kirk show with Charlie Kirk not on the show. Weird behavior with his pictures in the background. It's crazy, but we already know, like, let's just be real, y'all. If Blake Neff had his own show, who watching that? If Andrew Colbert had his own show, who watching that? They don't have a choice. This is the deal they signed as part of the cover-up. Now they're miserable talking to nobody in the chats. Or when they do have a chat, it's flooded with people accusing them of stuff and throwing stuff at them, and they can't even answer it because it's against the script at the moment. They're miserable right now. Two-tier justice system, absolutely. Candace knows a lot more than she is saying. She holds things close to the chest. She waits until the liars lie, then she exposes them. She does every single time. Every single time. They will never pay for killing Charlie. I hope some type of justice comes about. We're going to see. Let's see what else they got to say about how mad they are at Joe Kent.
When pressed that his testimony could help the Robinson defense, Kent said, "I'm seeking." When pressed that his testimony could help the Robinson defense, Kent said, "Then honestly, so be it. If it gets us to the truth, that's obviously the risk I'm taking."
Why is he talking like that? That's not a crazy thing to say, but he made it seem like it was just this crazy betrayal statement. Listen to it again.
Neither Robinson's attorney, if it gets money, could help the Robinson defense, Kent said, "Then honestly, so be it. If it gets us to the truth, that's obviously the risk I'm taking."
That sounded like when I read to my 3-year-old. Why was he so animated saying that? And then on top of that, that is a fact. If what Joe Kent says ends up completely exonerating Tyler Robinson, but it gets the full truth on what actually happened to Charlie, isn't that the justice you wanted? What are you so mad about then? Somebody needs to come out and ask them. Worst case scenario, if Tyler Robinson is exonerated from M1 charges and there's a different outcome, but the truth is exposed, but it's a different outcome, would that upset you? Because I think they would say yes. I don't think it's about justice for them. It's literally about making sure Tyler Robinson, the guy, either doesn't make it a trial or takes this plea, and then we all have no choice but to shut up about it. Total corrupt governments get away with murder. Yeah. He practiced talking like that in the car on the way to work. He turned down the radio. Oh my gosh, bro. Absolutely. That was the most animated thing ever. We're talking about Joe Kent here. Somebody much more professional than Blake Neff. It had way bigger big boy jobs. I promise you, Joe Kent does not talk
Now,
like
the
this.
Robinson's attorney, if it gets us to help the Robinson defense, Kent said, then honestly, so be it. If it gets us to the truth, that's obviously the risk I'm taking. Neither Robinson's attorneys nor the prosecuting attorneys responded to a request for comment. And then it looks, I'm not sure if there's more. I might have to pay for Schellenberger's subscription.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm sure it does go further. And we're going to, like I said, be talking to Michael Schellenberger in the second half of next hour at 1:30 Eastern. And I can't wait to hear what he has to say. This to me is galaxy brain run amok. And let me explain why I say that. Jonathan Turley, who is I guess he's a contributor to Fox News, legal contributor. He's a professor of law at George Washington University, said that 90% of the evidence accumulated against Tyler Robinson could be thrown out. So the defense could be successful in throwing out 90% of the evidence, and he would still be found guilty of murder.
let's refresh people. There is a murder weapon that was found near the site of the shooting. It was owned by Tyler Robinson's family.
Given to him
It
by his
is
grandpa.
of the caliber used to shoot Charlie.
Why are they going so hard? Why are y'all going so hard trying to convince us that it was Tyler Robinson? Look how hard they're going. Everybody, why are y'all tripping? It was Tyler Robinson. The murder weapon was right there. Why are y'all asking questions about this? Why are y'all doing this? Why are y'all doing that? Why are you worried about it, bro? It's a slam dunk case. Leave it alone. Remember, it's a slam dunk case, open and shut case, overwhelming evidence, mountains of evidence. So it doesn't matter what we talk about. He should go to jail still, right? He should be found guilty, right? Doesn't matter. You don't have to sit here and try to convince me that he's guilty, bro. If we don't think he is, and you think so, we'll let it go. It's crazy. What's going on? We're living a nightmare in this country, and most are unsure what to do about it. Man, it's getting crazy for sure. He sounds like a high school theater kid, bro. Blake Neff is the most unserious person of the entire group. I could not take Blake serious. Blake Neff. I cannot take Blake Neff serious at all. It don't even matter if he was actually mad. I'd be like, bro, cut it out. Cut it out. Heads up, bro. I thought you were going to be live on TikTok instead. Maybe post on TikTok ahead of time so the audience knows next time. I absolutely will do that. I do apologize. I did not think about that. So I do appreciate it. I will do that moving forward for sure. And why I get angry at people investing. Preach. Preach. No clue. Andrew looks like the kind of dude that would sell you a car and then avoid your calls afterwards. If he saw you in the mall, he would turn and go the other way. Bro, Andrew looks like the most shadiest person of them all. Blake is the most unserious. Andrew is the shadiest. These two should not be leading the Charlie Kirk show at all. I would probably take Mikey McCoy, even though Mikey McCoy is also a little, you know what I mean, on the fruit of the loom side. I still would take him over At least he has a nice smile. Andrew Kovach and Blake Neff are just weird. Lulu with the donation, I definitely appreciate it. Love that Candace is leading the charge for truth, and all of the other honest YouTube channels follow up and tell it like it is. Go Max, brother. I definitely appreciate it, Lulu, for the donation. I really do. Make sure you thumbs down their video for us because we won't watch it. Hey, I will. I didn't even think about that. I definitely will. Who cares if Joe Kent is investigating if you got the guy? Right. Preach. 2030 is the year to shut us all down. It's crazy.
It has his DNA all over it.
All over the casings.
They release a photo of the shooter. They are not able to find him otherwise. Tyler Robinson's parents see that photo and think, that looks like Tyler. They begin asking him things like, where is your, I believe it was his grandfather's gun.
Mm-hmm.
They start asking him this. Tyler Robinson starts talking like he might kill himself. They get a friend of the family to sit down with him. He admits that it's him. They get him to drive up to Orem and turn himself in. His parents helped him turn him in. And you run into people who say that that didn't happen or that's fabricated.
There's digital confessions.
There's digital confessions, but also his...
Blake, it don't matter how many times you rerun it down. It doesn't matter how many times you do that. That's fine, bro. I still don't believe you. It doesn't matter. I don't know, bro. It's I don't know. And he makes it try to seem like it's so obvious. When you hear this, doesn't it just make sense to you when I break it down this way? No, Blake, it doesn't. Because at the end of the day, the gun was only found by some rookie cops, and bomb dogs couldn't even find a freshly fired gun. Didn't want to throw that in there. Tyler Robinson's confession happened behind closed doors to his parents, but all of a sudden the police footage of him turning himself in disappears. But I'm supposed to just take your word for it that he told his mom and dad that he did it. Like, come on, bro. It's so many things that just don't make any sense. But he's trying his hardest to make it make sense for us. And you won't believe what Andrew Kovach says. It gets even worse.
Parents are out there. They have never stepped forward and said this is a lie. They could easily do that. It would be trivial to do that if it was the case.
His parents actually came, or my fault, Brandy, if I'm not mistaken, her name is. Let me see if I can find her right quick just so I don't misquote. She actually came out. She's somebody that she's not affiliated, but she talks to Baron Coleman a lot. And I heard about them through Baron Coleman. And she came out and said that she actually talked to Tyler Robinson's parents or family in the courtroom. Hopefully I liked her tweet. Typically I do. I got to get better at that because here it is. Yeah. Let me show this real quick. Yep, Brandy and Billy show. I heard about them through Baron. If they were known before that, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to disrespect them. But look at this right here. Remember when Blake Neff said, oh, Tyler Robinson told his parents and all the other stuff? Well, Brandy said that, or somebody, Blake Neff, ironically, said right here, Tyler Robinson literally confessed to his parents and was turned in by them and has his DNA all over the weapon used to kill Charlie. But some people are so obsessed with hating Israel the same thing that they are obsessed with literally every day that they would try to help. I don't even want to read the rest of that at all. But first off, nobody is just this whole thing when they just bring up Israel thinking that everybody just hates Israel. It's like y'all make people hate Israel. The more you just try to label that on people, the more you try to put that on people. I don't care about them. Nobody cares about them. We're just talking about the facts right now. But Brandy comes out and says, I might need to just zoom it up for y'all. Tyler Robinson did not confess to his parents. As someone who has spoken directly with a family member inside the courtroom, I can tell you this. They said about 2% of what you hear in the media about Tyler is true. His family refused to talk to the press because everything gets misconstrued. They also said Tyler is not capable of something like this. So ask yourself, does this sound like a family that would turn him in? It's also interesting that the footage of him turning him in, the footage of them turning him in is now missing or deleted. So, yeah. Doesn't seem too obvious, Blake, that Tyler Robinson's the guy, if we just being completely honest. It's crazy. They're all theater kids, yes. I mean, is crazy. Blake acting like the less hairy eyebrow version. I'm telling you. For real. It's crazy. What did Jay-Z say? You're sweating, forgetting your lies, alibis ain't matching up. Nonsense catching up. That is a perfect verse for what's actually going on. Found you from TikTok. What did I miss? Oh man, we've been on for about an hour and 20 minutes. I will say, it's my apologies. I should have posted that it was going to be on YouTube. I commented a couple times saying it's going to start on TikTok and we're going to go to YouTube, but I should have made a post. So I do apologize. I'm going to take the blame for that. That's on me. That's on me. But we are listening to Andrew Covett and Blake Neff completely crash out over the thought of Joe Kent potentially testifying. That's all it is. He didn't even confirm that he's going to. He didn't say he was summoned to. Joe Kent just said that if it comes down to it and they want him to testify, he's willing to. If it means that he gets, the truth. And they're literally crashing out. So we are watching the crash out.
They have not done that.
Mhm.
His parents turned him in. That is the most obvious piece of evidence in the world that nothing can argue around. And some people are so obsessed with these same conspiracies that they concoct for every other thing that ever happens. And so they have to shove it into this one too, because they care more about their conspiracy theories than about the person who murdered my friend facing justice. I am fed up with it.
Yeah, and you should be. And this
Oh my gosh, bro. Look at bro face. Look at bro face. He gotta pretend a little harder. He gotta pretend a little harder. Is that mad, Blake? Blake Neff? Is that mad? Is that angry Blake Neff? Man, I got a little nervous. Almost had to clutch my pearls. I got a blanket on right now. Almost had to clutch my pearls. Blake Neff got a little frustrated. That is, oh my gosh, bro. Andrew Covett is about to say even some more crazy BS. So let's just listen to what Andrew Covett finna say.
this is I mean, this is a tough job for us today, to be honest, because this is really personal. I have been open to everything. I think, candidly, I don't get enough credit for even the fact that I shared these group chats in the first place. We shared a lot of information about trans, about Charlie, how Charlie was more concerned about than any other community about the trans coming after him. You want to know the truth? That's actually the truth. I heard.
Now, why is this coming out right now, Andrew? Why you want to come out with this now? Now all of a sudden the trial don't matter. Remember, all they want to say is we don't want to say too much because the trial. We don't want to say too much because of the trial privacy. Excuse me, all this other stuff. Now Charlie was so worried about the trans community. Me and Charlie discussed so much all the time how worried he was that he was gonna get got by a gay person. You can't, bro. You cannot make this up, bro. Y'all lucky my son's sleeping right now. I would be screaming. Because these people, it's hard to contain my laughter, my outbursts, my potential crash outs over what's going on right now. Charlie was worried about the gay community. That's the truth. Y'all didn't know that, but here's the truth about Charlie Kirk. He was actually worried. He was worried about the gay community the most, of course, Andrew, of course. Let me guess, Tyler Robinson's part of the gay community. Of course he is. Yeah, of course.
Heard over the course of the last 2 years of Charlie's life, learned about than any other community about the trans coming after him. You want to know the truth? That's actually the truth. I heard over the course of the last 2 years of Charlie's life, probably about 50 references of how he knew the trans Tifa was going to come after him. And he was worried about that. That's the truth. Never mentioned one time about the Jews. Okay? Never once. And here's why it's so frustrating is because
Charlie has podcasts out of him saying that the Jews were calling him anti-Semite or anti-Semitic. He was on a podcast where I think Megyn Kelly said that they're calling him out of his name. Candace Owens leaked. Was it Candace Owens? I think it was Candace Owens. Candace Owens leaked that one text message from one of his donors or whatever. That was a literal threat. Literally. So for Andrew Kovac to sit here and just pretend like the Jews had no play in Charlie's frustration in his last days is great. He's snitching on himself right now. He's talking too much. That's what I love. That's what I love about Turning Point USA. When they get to talking, ooh, I'm like, continue, please, don't stop. Go on a rant. Chill, pause. That was crazy. But go on a rant. Go on a rant. Go crazy, Andrew Kovac. Talk about whatever. Just keep going. Y'all go snitch on yourself every time. That was...
there is going... That's the truth. Never mentioned one time about the Jews. Okay? Never once. And here's why it's so frustrating is because there is going to be even more evidence that is presented to the public in May at the evidentiary hearing, okay? And it's a mountain of evidence, some of which has been made public, some of which has not been made public yet. And the prosecution is going to lay out its case against Tyler Robinson. And I'm told it's a whopper. I'm told they've got this guy dead to rights. And meanwhile, you have government officials that are now saying on the record to journalists, they are willing to testify on behalf of the defense to get, ostensibly, to get Tyler Robinson off the hook for something that he did. And so
they don't have to use allegedly at all, huh? We got to say allegedly every day, 50 times a day, or else we get videos taken down, we get strikes. But these folks don't have to say allegedly at all when Tyler Robinson has never admitted to killing Charlie, or at least shooting Charlie, to the police, not to his lover, Lance, that was a transitioning transgender, but somehow when he was at the gas station, he looked like a full-blown man again. Not that. Not him confessing to his parents, allegedly. He hasn't confessed to the police, to the court system. He hasn't done that at all once. But yet Turning Point gets to go around and say, that's the guy that did it. They don't have to say allegedly at all for anything. Okay. That's new to me. Anytime I don't say allegedly, they love trying to give me a strike.
Level of betrayal that I currently feel is an off the hook for something that he did. And so the level of betrayal that I currently feel is dramatic and extreme. The level of just frustration, the idiocy that is on full display, we have to call it out, because if this ends up screwing up the jury pool, if this ends up in some ways getting a hung jury, getting this case thrown out, or even just getting the death penalty off the case, off the.
Let's. I'm not done, but I want to add something to it. He keeps on talking about if this hurts the jury, if this taints the jury, if this messes up the trial, right? If this messes up the case. What about them paving over the crime scene? What hurts the case more? Joe Kent testifying and just saying the FBI blocked me from doing my job, or paving over the crime scene in less than 72 hours? Which one hurts more? Which one hurts the trial more? What about the car that Charlie was in on the way to the hospital? That's part of the crime scene. What about that car, which then they sold off in an auction very fast, and that car is no longer in the possession of Turning Point USA or the feds or the FBI or anybody? That rental car company sold it, cleaned it up, sold it. That's not messing with the trial. The entire crime scene was messed with. What about Terrell Farnsworth messing with the cameras? They have literal people messing up the trial, but they're blaming regular people that are just like, hey, that doesn't make any sense. Let's ask this question. Joe Kent is getting up there and telling the truth on what happened to him, and that's gonna mess up the trial. Brother, you don't have a trial, bro. I'm sorry. That mountain of evidence, of evidence is not a mountain. If Joe Kent can get up there and say, the FBI blocked me from doing my job, and Tyler Robinson gets free off of that, that's your mountain. I don't know, bro. You might want to rethink your analogy, because it ain't no mountain if that's the case.
Potential list of consequences here. I'm not going to case off the case thrown out, or even just getting the death penalty off the case, off the potential list of consequences here. I'm not going to be happy with that. I'm telling you that as somebody who was open to all different options, I didn't care where the truth led. This is where the truth led. This is it. And for any fair-minded person, this is crackpot conspiracy, garbage, brain rot stuff. And now it's gotten really serious. This isn't podcaster junk. This isn't like social media conspiracy.
How is the only truth your truth? It is no other option. That's basically what he's saying. Tyler Robinson is the truth. Anything else you're thinking is crackpot, junky conspiracy theory. This is the truth. All the evidence we have, it leads to Tyler Robinson. Brother, I disagree. That's it. Simple as that. Simple as that. You can think it's Tyler Robinson. That's cool, but don't sit here and try to convince me that it's Tyler Robinson. I'm just saying I disagree. Doesn't make any sense. Why does it piss you off that I don't agree with you?
Nonsense. This is an actual government official who's now going to be called to testify on behalf of the defense. And that is a bridge too far. That is a line in the sand that we must hold, because this could negatively impact the trial of the assassin of my friend, of Blake's friend. So that's the breaking news. I don't want to dwell on it for the whole show here, because we're going to have Michael Schellenberger come on next.
That's embarrassing. Of my friend, of Blake's friend. Can't believe y'all are doing this to us like that. That's embarrassing, bro. The guy that claims that they're seeking truth, but they're getting pissed that the truth is starting to be revealed. Bro, it's so funny. Let me try to catch up. Of course, Tyler, yes, transferring the truth is so frustrating. You don't believe us, right? They're always backpedaling. Yep, every time. TPUSA must be investigated. They are full of lies and fraud. They do need to be investigated. I'll be honest. They need to be investigated for a full-blown RICO at this point. Because this is just, I don't know. This to me looks like a criminally led organization. For real. Even if Tyler gives a full confession, I'm not believing it. False confessions happen for many different reasons. Absolutely. I agree. I don't believe it one bit. Again, I think he's going to end up taking a plea. And we're all going to be like, why are you taking a plea? Like, you literally, you have all the evidence is on your side that is going to completely exonerate you. Take it to trial. It's going to take a little bit of time. Our beautiful justice system that gives you the right to have a speedy trial. It will not be speedy, but Erica is requesting it to be speedy. But that's strategic. That is very strategic. It's not going to be in Tyler Robinson's favor. So, yeah, I don't think he's either going to make it a trial, or he's going to or he's going to take the plea. Yeah, Andrew, I made a YouTube video today. He low-key had me crash out because he keeps on mentioning how he's a good friend to Charlie. And it really started to get under my skin. Because I started thinking about all the things that I started thinking about the things that Charlie probably thought about Andrew, because he probably thought that he was a genuine friend. And how wrong Charlie was. Charlie texted Andrew the night before he died. Andrew didn't even tell his wife. And after he died, Andrew still didn't tell his wife. He didn't tell his wife at all until Candace came out and outed Andrew. And Erica Kirk was blindsided because she said that never happened. She could have been lying. But I'm just thinking about all of these different data points. And I'm like, you never told his wife about these text messages. And again, Erica probably already knew because she's guilty on a whole nother level, allegedly, in my opinion. But you didn't tell. Charlie texted you about how you was feeling. Now you're saying you didn't want the screenshot to go out. You didn't want nobody to know that Charlie Kirk was changing his views on Israel. You didn't want the public to know. You watched Charlie Kirk's enemies go on stage and talk for him, on behalf of him. You watched them come out after he died and started tweeting all about him. When you knew, you seen the text messages. You saw the screenshot that you took You knew how he felt. And Andrew Kovach sat back and watched all his enemies soak up Charlie's glory in the days after he died. Didn't say a word. Amfest came. Andrew didn't say a word. You're not a true friend to Charlie, bro. And if we just being real, you watch his wife do nonsense too. Any real friend, it don't matter if that's your wife. If I see your wife on some BS and my brother ain't here, my friend ain't here because he died, I'm checking you. I'm checking you because that's my friend. I don't have any loyalty to you. My loyalty is with my friend first. So if I see Erica doing some weird stuff, I'm going to check you. If I see you not questioning these people that are coming on Charlie's stage, I'm going to check you. Because you know Charlie wouldn't want that. That's what a real friend would do. Those text messages would have been outed on day one. I don't give a freak about how people feel. And I put my name on it. I say I took this screenshot and I put it out there. Because this ain't right. Anybody that ever threatened Charlie, I would have figured that out. Now, Erica being his wife and she didn't do any of this stuff, that's a whole different conversation too. But all them people that was threatening Charlie in text messages, I would have outed all of them. Yeah, I need an investigation into all these folks. Charlie was stressed leading up to his final days. And Andrew Kovach would rather go to bat for the transgender community, saying, oh, the transgender community, Charlie was more stressed about them than the Jewish donors. He'd rather go to bat for the Jewish donors than Charlie's life. He'd rather make up some BS and say Charlie was stressed about the trans community over defending Charlie's legacy. It's sick. I can go on all day about that sick dude. This guy sounds like a fifth grader. Isn't a fair trial at risk because of, no people just flat out saying that Tyler is guilty? I mean, that's the thing about trial, though. Like, when it's public and you got the media involved and stuff, that's when it does get a little tricky because the entire jury will be watching TV, watching TikTok clips, anything. So it can go either way. They were able to trample all over the crime scene and pave over it because it's a military operation, allegedly. Yeah. Allegedly. I think we were watching Barron's podcast a couple months ago. It's been a while. But they paved over the crime scene. And the reason that makes sense is because whatever exploded, the Big Bang, allegedly, which we all think there was some type of charge on the microphone or whatever, the little black pieces that also were found in the SUV, all of the different particles that was part of that explosive, whatever exploded, was all over the ground. So in order to not have, it's a college campus, so kids would be walking across that path every single day. So in order to not expose that to the people that surrounds that area, to that campus, they were left no choice but to pave over it. So now you don't have to worry about that. That to me makes sense versus them just saying, oh, we wanted to put plants where Charlie died 3 days later. That makes no sense on a Sunday. That makes zero sense. Erica wants us to move home instead of investigating. Yeah, she does. You would think Erica Kirk would come out and say, Joe Kent said what? The FBI did what? Man, reopen the whole thing right now. Reopen the investigation right now. Do a full-blown investigation and see if there was any foreign involvement. Who blocked you, Joe Kent? I need to know the name. Cash Patel? Oh, I'm going straight to Trump. You would think that's what a wife would do when they found out that information. But what did she do? Nothing. The silence was more loud. She can care less. Tyler Robinson's the guy. Yeah, you had the pullback bun on that video today. Bro, he had me hot. I promise y'all, bro. Man, he had me hot. And Andrew Kovac pisses me off, bro. Because then with all of these, with these things coming up about him lying about the flights and stuff like that too, if that comes out as true, everything he's saying right now is going to look real, real, real bad. I know, right? It does. It sucks. Breaks my heart, sweet Charlie. It sucks knowing that, he was betrayed by everybody around him. Everybody. The people that he thought he was closest with, people that he thought he could trust, he was betrayed by all of them. It's really sad. And I think that's why so many people are still stuck on this, because you can see this from so many different perspectives, from a father perspective, husband perspective, a best friend perspective, just a great human being perspective, when you just like, I can't believe these people played in his face as if they were cool and great friends, but turn their back on him the second some money got involved. Actually, but actually, for real, facts. We got to say that 24/7. Who do you want to invest in your death? And Candace or Erica? Who do you want invest in your death? And Candace or Erica? I don't know what the question is, but who do I want invested in my death? I think definitely Candace. 1000%. 1000%. Yeah, absolutely. It was all sketchy, for real. You would think Erica would do that. And I also thought that once Joe Kent released or confirmed that the FBI blocked him, bro, I don't know why I thought that, to be honest, but I thought all the Shalami soldiers that come to Erica's defense, I thought this was going to be the time where everybody came together and was like, what? Because they claim they love Charlie so much. They claim Charlie is this whatever. And they just bypassed right over that. Didn't even care about Joe Kent saying the FBI blocked this investigation. They didn't even care. I really thought that was going to be the one time Erica was going to come out and show some type of emotion, even if it was fake. She can care less. Tyler Robinson's the guy. Candace is like Mike Epps. Candace is like Mike Epps in that movie, slapping people with baby powder sprinkled on his hand, which is doing it with facts and evidence. Yeah, that's 100% fact. That is 100% fact. Gotta love Candace. Got to. She also like 50 Cent too, because she petty. But his alibi is a live show with Nick Shirley. Yeah, I made a video about Barron's plane theory, and I believe it. I think it's going to come out very soon that Andrew Kovac was lying about that plane, in his flight, and that he actually had prior knowledge all my opinion, and that it's impossible for him to get that flight booked and all that stuff without him knowing that he was gonna go to Utah that day. And I think it's gonna come out soon. 100%. I'll never be the same after his death. It changed me, becoming aware of the horrors of evil and wolves in sheep's clothing. It's mind bleeding. I'm the same way. I'll never forget that Charlie Kirk was the one thing that, my entire platform just completely took off. And it was all because of Charlie Kirk. And, I think it went from, it's probably like a 2-week span of just 100,000, 150,000, followers all at once. And it genuinely was all because I never really heard of Charlie Kirk that much for real. I knew who Candace was. So that's how I knew who Charlie Kirk was. I just knew the name because I knew I seen him with Candace because I used to watch Candace. I've been watching Candace since like 2018, 19. So I knew who he was. I've heard of him before, but I didn't really know who he was. And when this happened and I seen the world's reaction, I was shocked. I was like, bro, I have never seen anybody react this way about something that was just so disgusting. I'm like, bro, I didn't see rappers that admit that they're serial killers not get celebrated when they died. But when Charlie Kirk died, bro, I saw half the world celebrating. So that's when I was like, who is this dude? And why is everybody celebrating him dying? And I started looking into his content. And I immediately was like, dude, this was a great guy. I'm loving all his content. And I binged, hours and hours and hours of his content. Then I started going to people's pages and trying to figure out why they hate him and why were they celebrating his death. And then I would realize that whatever they said, I would pull up a video about it. And it wouldn't even be how they comprehended it. It'd be totally different. I'm like, bro, Charlie Kirk didn't even say it like that. He didn't even say that. Then I went to the next video and the next video and the next video. And I started making videos about pretty much debunking all of these different crazy claims that these people were saying about Charlie Kirk. And then, yeah, it opened up my mind a lot on the politics space and all of that. Shalami Mommy is too busy building. Bro, I'm so sick of hearing her say that. We're building. We're building. Right, agreed about the flights, but how could they be so messy? I just don't think they planned for a Candace and they did not plan for a Baron. And there are many others out there that are, investigating and putting their 2 cents in, leading an investigation. But they didn't think about all of these different, players in the game. They didn't expect Candace to react the way she did. They forgot all about Candace. They didn't expect Baron Coleman to come out of nowhere and blow up and be a very credible person when it comes to, reporting explosive news or stuff like that. They didn't think this was going to happen. I also think that they didn't mean to leave a neck wound, because that's what started off this whole thing. If he didn't get whatever happened right here, if this didn't happen, they were able to control the narrative. They could have made up anything. I think something was supposed to happen here, somewhere here, and whatever happened ended up going in his neck. And that is when they messed up. Because then they had to start coming up with things, which then didn't make sense. Baron may be ahead of Candace, but love how they don't care who is giving the information first. I do love that as well about them too. Because sometimes I'll be thinking about it. I'm like, man, I hope, Baron don't change up what he's doing because he's trying to let Candace, dry the boat. Nah, they just go back and forth. They just bounce off each other. I think Andrew told Charlie he would host a show as a bargaining chip for Charlie to go and interview with Ben Shapiro. He had to be the one to host Charlie's show so he can make that flight out of Scottsdale. Yeah, I remember Candace talking about that today with that show, and somebody else too. I'm definitely gonna look at it some more as well. Yes, I was pissed when I saw the headline, especially because I just started watching his videos and he would be speaking a lot of hard to swallow truth. Absolutely. They didn't think Candace would see the video from behind. Nope. They showed it. They were not planning on a Candace or Baron. Yeah, they wasn't planning on that at all. They planned on having this thing hit again in his chest, so that way we couldn't pull up and go down conspiracies of different narratives. But once it hit right here, then they had to say, okay, what kind of gun was it? The whole internet started shooting that gun, that 30-06, into everything. Didn't work. They didn't plan for any of this. And so there's so many things that they slipped up on. They might have felt like it was a great military operation. The only thing that they're doing good on right now is Tyler Robinson in prison, or Tyler Robinson in jail. That's the only thing they're doing good at, because I don't know how that's going to go. And his defense team, they don't care about the mountains of evidence that would exonerate him. We'll see. But I definitely appreciate y'all for joining the YouTube live. I think this was our third live. So I definitely appreciate y'all for joining. For the ones that came over from TikTok, thank you very much for doing that. I will do my due diligence next time and post a screenshot or post something about going live on YouTube. So I'm getting better at it, I swear. Am I the only one that started getting a bunch of Charlie Kirk videos on their YouTube Shorts feed about 2 or 3 months before he got taken out? Yeah, because I didn't hear about him at all for real until it happened. So maybe, at least for me, I can speak for mine. I definitely did not know that much about Charlie Kirk. I wasn't seeing his content yet for real. But boy, I was glad to find his page and realize that I had hours of content to go through. For your mental sanity, please disengage from Lisa Knowles soon, bro. She's far removed from any objectivity. Watch her debate with Zach Castillo. I felt I left feeling bad for her. Where is it at? Twitter, TikTok? Where is it at? I definitely want to watch it. And I'll take your advice. And just leave it at that, because she made a part 2 and I made a response to it. It's still in my drafts, but I've just been thinking about it because I can tell y'all. It's what you expected. She doesn't say anything about Erica Kirk not being mad at the fact that Joe Kent's investigation was blocked. She doesn't bring that up, of course. She doesn't bring up Turning Point, Andrew Colvey, or any of those people actually being upset at the fact that the investigation was blocked. She has this whole thing in her mind that she thinks Joe Kent should go to prison and stuff like that. And I was just like, I don't know. And I'm just like, and I made a response video again. I put it in my drafts. I was just waiting a little bit because I was really like, it's really not worth it because you don't even address what I'm talking about. And like, why? What's the point? I don't know. I may take your advice and just leave it in the drafts and never reply to her second response. Maybe I may just comment on her video and just say, "Gotcha." I don't know. I might take your advice though. I appreciate it. Definitely like the video. I don't know how many likes is that right now, but please do that. Do more what? You did great. Looking forward to the next one. Thank you for speaking truth. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it again. His channel on YouTube, it was about the Jillian situation. Oh my gosh. Okay. Zach Castillo, right? Zach Castillo versus Lisa Knowles. Let me pull it up. Oh, I found it. 2 hours. I found it. Okay. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, bro. I had no idea that Lisa Knowles was like this person that was just going after everybody. I had no idea. I just seen a couple of mentions and I was like, who is this person? And I realized that they had said something about me quite a few times. And I was like, what? I mean, I guess I'll reply. And then I seen like 3 more people that day was like, Lisa Knowles was going at those 3 other people. And again, I seen their responses and stuff. And I was like, oh, this is normal for her. She just goes at everybody. I'm going to look at it, though. I see it right here. From South Africa. Oh, my gosh. I definitely appreciate you for tuning in. It probably is, the middle of the day over there tomorrow for us. That is great. I definitely appreciate it. Man, I love y'all as well. Definitely all love. Thank you for supporting. It really does mean a lot. Your voice helps me, helps because sometimes it's like crazy, but we know we're not crazy. It be feeling like that too. It really does be feeling like that. Mothers being unable to say Erica was inappropriate with Jillian is a red line. Lisa Knowles is a mother too. I don't. Yeah, you know what? I'll commit to it. I'll commit to y'all, and just leave it at that. Because I had no idea. I didn't do my research on Lisa Knowles. I just thought it was just a random person, but clearly not. She's after something. So yeah, I guess I will leave part 2 in the drafts or delete it and just let it be. Ain't no getting to her. Because I'm also somebody that's cool with dialogue, disagreements. It doesn't even really matter. I can talk to somebody and just agree to disagree if it comes down to the bottom of it. So, I think that's where I was getting at. I'm like, look, Lisa, you don't got to call me weird things on your videos. Like, you don't have to call me anything. You can disagree with what I'm saying, but we can still be cordial. Like, you don't have to talk trash or any of that stuff. So I try my best to extend a hand out there and just say, listen, I can reply to your videos and we can just keep it on that level. It's no reason to, I'm not going to call you crazy or psychotic for her extreme views. So I try to build like a bridge of peace and like, bro, relax. You don't have to make a video about me all the time saying crazy stuff. Exactly. Everything's about Candace, and they can't talk about the topic itself, bro. She talks about Candace on every video. I'm like, bro, I'm not even talking about Candace right now. Lisa knows it's an irritant. Think of her as pepper spray. Stay away. I'll stay away. I'll stay away from Lisa. I won't reply. I'll commit to it right now. I'm gonna leave part 2 up in the air. Just leave it alone. I definitely appreciate y'all for giving me a heads up though, because I had no idea. No clue how, I guess, big Lisa is when it comes to being a known hater. So yeah, I mean, I appreciate it. I really do. But I appreciate y'all for joining. We will be live probably. I got a hoop tomorrow. Cardio is my Wednesday nights is cardio for me. So I don't get done hooping until like 11:30. So I probably won't be live on YouTube tomorrow. I might go live on TikTok just because it'll probably be like 30 minutes to an hour. And if I get suspended, if I get banned, whatever, it's not that big of a deal. Especially when I get on like that late for that short amount of time. So tomorrow will probably be TikTok live. And then Thursday and Friday, we'll figure something out to get back on YouTube live to get this thing going more consistent. I know I've been lacking on the lives. My videos, we coming around to it, but the lives, I got to get more consistent with it. So I definitely appreciate it again. And I hope y'all have a great night, and I'll see y'all in the next one.